Good afternoon. My name is Anna Celine, and I'm the Executive Director of Lakes Crisis and Resource Center. And I am here today with Stephanie, who is our child educator. And we just want to talk to everyone about a project that we're currently working on. And we've been doing it, this is our third year, but it's the Women's 100. And what it is a group of philanthropic women in our community and surrounding area who come together in support of the services that we provide to the community. Our thoughts in originating this group, the Women's 100, was to bring 100 women together to collectively support others by each donating $100 or more if they'd like, and magnifying the impact of their gift by having it joined with so many others. And we've been able to do a lot of amazing things in the last couple of years as a result of this group. The first year, we were able to use the funds to update the flooring and some of the furnishings in our shelter apartments. As you can imagine, after being open for about 6 years at that time, the shelter had seen thousands of women and children come through. And that, of course, creates a lot of wear and tear, and replacing the flooring was something that we wouldn't have been able to do without the support of our Women's 100 that year. The second year, we were able to use the funds for a much needed minivan. We have to do a lot of transporting for our Positive Connections program. We transport children back and forth to visits when needed, and we also take a lot of clients and shelter residents to medical appointments, job interviews, things of that nature. And so it has been a godsend, I think, to have that van and to have a reliable transportation that we can count on, and just something that we can offer if we have to go pick up a client and take them out of a bad situation. Having that van has been a real lifesaver. This year, our project, while we wait to unveil it completely until our luncheon, which I should also mention is scheduled for September 19th at Meadows on Lind, and that is 11:45 to 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And all members who have joined are invited to join us and hear about the program and meet some of our staff and network with other members of Women's 100. And also, there is still time to join. If you'd like to join our group, please just give us a call at the office at 847-8572, and we'd be happy to get you signed up. There's also a Facebook page for it. With that being said, as I was getting to, the project that we're working on this year directly impacts children, and that's why Stephanie is here with us. With her role, she works with the children in our shelter and helps identify needs as far as social, developmental, educational, and she works one-on-one with the children. She also works in the schools, providing support groups. And through those support groups, we've found that there's a lot of need. There's a lot of trauma that children have experienced. And it can be very difficult for children to know how to process that, to process it in a healthy way. And it can be also very difficult to talk to their parents about it. And so one thing that we found was we've got to find a way to really work more deeply and more in depth, I should say, with the children to unearth some of these issues that they've been facing. And so that is our focus for this year, is a more focused, more in-depth curriculum for our support groups, so we can identify and help repair some of the damage that these children have faced, so that they can have a healthier future and hopefully break the cycle of violence in their families. And so, Stephanie, if you want to talk a little bit about what these groups address, and it's called ACEs.
ACEs, yes. ACEs are adverse childhood experiences, and it's pretty much any traumatic event that can happen to a child in their childhood. It can range from abuse, neglect, illness or death in the family, or if there's drugs in the home, or poverty, or bullying, or if you have a parent in prison. Pretty much any anything that a child might find traumatic. And ACEs have actually been known to alter the way a brain develops. So kids who experience trauma, they kind of react to that with a fight or a flight response, which their brain kind of gets used to reacting to ordinary situations as fight or flight. So when they go to school and they are, they come across a problem, like an everyday normal problem, they tend to react to that with a fight or flight, instead of being able to cope with it in a normal, the way a normal child would cope with that, which can cause, violence. It leads to adapting negative coping skills like drugs, alcohol, smoking. So we really want to be able to get into the schools and teach these kids how to react to everyday situations positively and how to maybe live a healthier lifestyle, because there are studies that show that kids who have several ACEs, it leads to illness, adapting bad choices, and even it can lead to early death.
Yep. Yeah, and so it's something that we've done a lot of research on. I know that the schools and counselors in the area are supportive of this as well, and so we're excited to bring it to, as Stephanie said, into the schools, but also into daycares and to licensed foster care. Whoever could use this additional training and support, we want to be the ones to provide that. So thank you, and again, please feel free to join the Women's 100 and help support our goals for the community.
Yes.
Causes That Care is brought to you by Lakes Crisis and Resource Center, Kinship of Perham, New York Mills Cultural Center, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Detroit Lakes and Perham,